Bill, I start my piece so strongly because gathering the masses is only the way to bring change. You gain listeners by being loud and obnoxious as I gain readers and sharp minds, with a fierce opening. As I will explain, I call not for war. I call for the proletariat class to work together, for everyone, the oppressor to the oppressed. Recognize the serious issue of human equality. Then and only can class structure begin to open their eyes to the despicable way that society runs. After awareness is blasted into the minds of all, we will see a new world. Then and only then will each human, those who possess essentially the same minds as one another, find inequality in one another. I cannot explain the massive number of violence, I only called for a short-term swing. Just enough to break the door and open the way for communism led by stable leadership.
Carl, look what you're saying. Yes, I understand the equality for all slogan you relate back to. But what does that even suppose is next? After the door is open and communism infiltrates, will the market miraculously balance itself out? Will everyone have a full stomach and work for one another, as they did before while doing so for their family? Evidently, this was not the case. Here, on page 233, you state, the development of modern industry, therefore, cuts from under its feet the very foundation on which the bourgeoisie produces and appropriates product. While the bourgeoisie, therefore, produces above its own gravediggers, its fall and the victory of the proletariat are equally inevitable. Let me first explain. There has to be leaders, there has to be owners, there has to be workers. No one decided this way. Society follows an invisible hand, whether you believe it or not. It runs upon free will, not the restrictions you yell for. Government takeover and equal distribution is ignorant. Granted, the way the bourgeoisie treated the underclass workers was evil. God be their judge, but pointing to the economics and claiming internal strife is the next best option, it's ridiculed. Speak to the fact you have presented. Speak to the facts, Mr. Marx. People starve in us into what you call an economic structure. Of what that is, I still do not understand. The victory of the proletariat is inevitable because they hold the numbers. Violence will bring the short term. I give you that, it has. But look at the facts, the overall facts.
To call me ignorant, to cross the line. I'm in no way a peace activist. If blood needs to be spilled to bring lifetimes of happiness, so be it. May this even be in the future generation. Change will bring long-term economic right. The short-term battles that need to occur are significant to our ultimate ends of justice.
Carl, you are answering no questions. The short-term violence brought absolute mayhem with no positive end. The economic structure you envision caused no protection. The people you aimed suffered.
Okay, Bill, let's backtrack a second. Humans do deserve equal rights.
Enough of the equal rights. That's all you talk about. Carl, enough. What are you even searching for through your writing? Utopia? No. What is realistic is a government takeover. Equality for all? No. All are to be commanded by the government. Such reliance on the government cannot occur because of the human condition, Carl. Man has a dark side. We've seen it. It earns for fame, power, and all unlimited greed. Realistically, any given man who can rise to power promoting communism to arouse the masses will take over. Carl, he will have full control. This equality for all you speak will die. This theory was written by a very intelligent man in his prime. I hate to say that. Your writing is pristine. The way you connect to the common man is like no other. But Carl, your thoughts are the reasons for one of the man-made darkest parts in our history. Carl, your name is in the books. It's comparable to Hitler's.
Bill, what did you just call me? Don't I only look for my fellow man's well-being? I will no longer stand to be on the show. I'm not allowed to get a word in. I'm blamed of such blasphemy.
You gotta stay. Just a little longer.
This time, let me lead. Let us tap back into the essentials of my writing. Grab my book.
This is my show. Don't use that tone. It's the Bill O'Reilly show. If you want to start a Marx show, then you can do it. Please.
As I wrote here, the real fruit of their battles lies, not in the immediate result, but in the over-expanding union of workers. This union is helped on by the improved means of communication that are created by modern industry and that place the workers of different localities in contact with one another. Bill, do you see the genius here? Do you understand the lasting impact of such a movement? The workers are spread out amongst the land, yet dealing with the same strife. The bourgeois have a strong hold upon the workers' free will. But what they need is the workers' compliance. If the workers can unite throughout the earth, the oppressed will lose control. Bourgeois need the workers to produce their profit. However, the workers will join together and demand better. Say what you like. This is my stance. Each worker must unite, even violently, to prove their worth, to receive acknowledgement and true compensation of what they provide.
Let me show my respect. I am gaining an understanding of what you were saying. I did speak over the top earlier, comparing the name of Hitler. What I have to do, I apologize for that, what I have to do is bring you down to reality. I have to show you the facts, and you have trouble responding. What you have just called for is impossible, Carl. You missed one concept, nationalism. I will explain this momentarily. Now,
I do not believe that for 1 minute. Just takes complete unity. Let me turn to...
Stop. You pointed to your key arguments. Allow me to now look further into the manifesto and help you see the truth. Okay, let me have a second. On page 243, you begin to list the key measures of communism in countries that will adopt your theory. To name a few, this is what you say. Abolition of property in land and application of all rents of land to public purposes. Centralization of the means of communication and transportation in the hands of the state. Equal liability of all labor. This is a huge cause for concern. Property, communication, transport, for all to be run by the government. Seriously? It is inevitable for such ideas to turn for the worse. It just blows my mind, Carl. The theory as a whole is not realistic. I know you don't want to hear this. Capitalism is the only way. Yes, it is not perfect. Yes, frustratingly enough, humans will not be socially and financially at the same level, but there will be no government takeover. Millions will not die to stronghold from above. Better yet, capitalism will get the job done. We will live. Progress will be made. People will be selfish, though through selfishness, humans will provide for their families. The world is made up of families, is it not? The opportunity is offered through capitalism. Selfish ways will hit extremes, but I stress this form will get the job done. Not communism. No, Carl. I respect you for your thoughts, your desire to make life better, but to actually tell me a government takeover, a utopian-based society, and a violent change will work? This is rubbish. Don't make a fool of yourself.
Bill, you're missing the point.
We're taking a quick break, folks. Please be aware of the information I have strike you deep down. After the break, we will look at the history and effects communism had. Our surprise guest is about to put a smile on the back of everyone's face. Thank you for turning in. Oh my God.